Ethan Kross, billionaire CEO of one of the world's fastest-growing tech companies, storms into a small, dingy diner on the outskirts of New York City. It's late, and the city outside is drenched in rain. The smell of grease and burnt coffee fills the air, a stark contrast to his usual five-star lifestyle. He's scrolling through his phone, annoyed about a failed merger deal, when he hears a voice he hasn't heard in over a decade. Table 4's order is ready. Ethan freezes. That voice. His head snaps up, scanning the room. Behind the counter, juggling plates and a frazzled look, is Mia Hayes. Mia is unrecognizable. Gone are the bright eyes and infectious smile he remembered from college. Her uniform is wrinkled, her hair tied back hastily, and her movements scream exhaustion. She doesn't see him at first, too busy trying to calm a complaining customer. Ethan can't believe it. How could someone so brilliant, so full of ambition, end up here? His heart pounds as he wrestles with the urge to call out to her. Finally, their eyes meet. Mia freezes, her mouth slightly agape, a plate teetering dangerously in her hands. Ethan, she stammers, her voice barely audible. There's a long, awkward pause. Mia recovers quickly, plastering on a polite smile. It's been a while, she says, her tone too casual to be real. Ethan doesn't buy it. He rises from his seat, his towering presence now unmistakable in the small diner. Yeah, a decade, Ethan replies, his voice low and unreadable. What are you doing here, Mia? Her smile falters. She glances around, noticing the curious stares of customers and coworkers. I'm working, she says curtly, turning back to grab a coffee pot. But Ethan isn't letting this go. After finishing his meal in silence, Ethan waits for Mia outside in the rain, leaning against his black Maserati. When she finally steps out, he wastes no time. Talk to me, he says, his voice softer now. What happened to you? Last I heard, you were on your way to becoming a top lawyer. Mia looks away, hugging her jacket tighter against the cold. Life happened, she mutters, refusing to meet his gaze. Ethan's chest tightens. He knows there's more to the story, but he can see the shame and pain in her eyes. Over coffee at a nearby 24-hour diner, Mia finally opens up. After college, her mother was diagnosed with a terminal illness. Mia gave up her dream job offer to move back home and care for her. Her savings dwindled, and when her mother passed, she was left with mountains of medical debt. This job pays the bills, barely, she admits, her voice breaking. Ethan listens intently, his fists clenched under the table. He feels a surge of anger. Not at Mia, but at the world for crushing someone as extraordinary as her. Ethan leans forward, his expression fierce. You're not staying here. Come work for me. Mia blinks, stunned. What? You heard me, Ethan says. I'll pay off your debts, get you back on your feet. You don't belong here, Mia. Her pride flares up. I'm not a charity case, Ethan, she snaps. It's not charity, he counters. You're the smartest person I've ever known. I need someone like you in my corner. Mia spends the night wrestling with Ethan's offer. Pride wars with desperation. By morning, she finally gives in. I'll do it, she tells him. But don't expect me to be your yes man. Ethan smirks. I wouldn't dream of it. Mia's first day at Ethan's company is overwhelming. The glass skyscraper, the high-tech offices, the designer suits. It's a far cry from the diner. The other employees whisper about her, speculating about her connection to Ethan. She tries to keep her head down, but the tension is palpable. Working closely with Ethan brings back memories of their college days. Late-night study sessions, heated debates, and the unspoken bond they shared. But it also highlights how much they've changed. Ethan is colder, more guarded. And Mia can't shake the feeling that she doesn't belong in his world. Lucas Kane, Ethan's ruthless business rival, notices Mia's presence at the company. Sensing an opportunity to exploit Ethan's weaknesses, he starts digging into Mia's past. Lucas corners Mia at a corporate event, planting doubts in her mind. Do you really think Ethan helped you out of kindness? He asks, his tone dripping with malice. Or is this just a game to him? Mia confronts Ethan, demanding to know the real reason he helped her. Was it guilt? Pity? She asks, her voice shaking. Ethan's eyes flash with anger and hurt. No, Mia, he says. It's because I owe you everything. You believed in me when no one else did. The confrontation clears the air between them, and they begin to rebuild their friendship. Ethan starts opening up about his struggles, his distant father, his mother's abandonment, and the pressures of running a billion-dollar empire. Lucas launches a smear campaign against Ethan's company, using Mia's past to fuel the fire. The media frenzy is brutal, and the board demands Mia's resignation. Ethan is livid but powerless to stop them. Mia resigns to protect Ethan's company, but the decision devastates her. Ethan blames himself for not protecting her, retreating into his own pain. Determined to clear her name and save Ethan's company, Mia begins investigating Lucas's illegal dealings. Mia dives headfirst into exposing Lucas Kane, working late nights from her tiny apartment. She contacts an old friend, Jenna, now an investigative journalist. Together, they begin piecing together Lucas's shady deals, uncovering evidence of fraud, bribery, and corporate sabotage. But it's not without risk. Lucas is powerful, and he quickly catches wind of Mia's investigation. She starts noticing strange cars parked outside her apartment, and one night, someone breaks in. Her heart races as she finds her files scattered and her laptop smashed. Ethan insists on hiring security for her, but Mia refuses. I'm not going to let him scare me off, she says with defiance burning in her eyes. Ethan, meanwhile, is unraveling. With Mia gone, his company feels hollow. He's colder than ever, snapping at employees and ignoring advice from his team. His board begins doubting his leadership, and whispers of replacing him grow louder. One night, after too many drinks, Ethan shows up at Mia's apartment. He looks wrecked, his usual polished appearance replaced by disheveled hair and dark circles under his eyes. I can't do this without you, Mia, he admits, his voice raw. She softens, but her resolve is firm. Then fight for what's right, Ethan. Don't let Lucas win. As Mia gets closer to exposing Lucas, she discovers an unsettling truth. Someone inside Ethan's company has been feeding Lucas information. The mole is someone Ethan trusts deeply. Mark Hastings, his CFO and longtime confidant. Mia is torn. Revealing Mark's betrayal will shatter Ethan, but keeping it secret could cost them everything. She decides to tell him, and the look on Ethan's face when he hears the truth is one she'll never forget. I trusted him with everything, Ethan says, his voice shaking with rage. Ethan and Mia devise a plan to take down Lucas and expose Mark. They feed Mark false information about a major deal, knowing he'll pass it on to Lucas. Meanwhile, Mia works with Jenna to ensure the press is ready to break the story once the evidence is in place. The tension is suffocating as they wait. Ethan struggles to keep his anger in check during meetings with Mark, while Mia feels the weight of what's at stake. One slip-up could ruin everything. The trap works perfectly. Mark feeds Lucas the false information, and Lucas acts on it, making a bold move that backfires spectacularly. Jenna's exposé drops the same day, detailing Lucas's crimes and Mark's betrayal. The fallout is immediate. Lucas's company collapses under the weight of the scandal, and he's arrested for fraud. Mark, cornered by Ethan, confesses everything. It was never personal, Mark says, but Ethan's cold stare tells him he's burned every bridge. With Lucas and Mark exposed, Mia's name is cleared. Ethan holds a press conference, publicly praising her for her courage and integrity. The moment is bittersweet for Mia. She's grateful, but she knows the scars from the ordeal will take time to heal. Ethan offers Mia her job back, but she surprises him by declining. I want to start fresh, she says. Help people who are stuck like I was. Inspired by her resilience, Ethan proposes a partnership. They'll start a foundation together, aimed at providing resources and opportunities for those in need. As Ethan and Mia work together to launch their foundation, Ethan begins confronting the demons of his past. He visits his estranged father, a man who spent years belittling him. The confrontation is tense and emotional, but for the first time, Ethan feels free. Mia, too, finds closure, visiting her mother's grave to share the progress she's made. "I'm okay now, Mom," she whispers, tears streaming down her face. Working together brings Ethan and Mia closer than ever. Their late-night brainstorming sessions turn into heartfelt conversations, and the tension between them grows electric. Both are hesitant to cross the line, fearing it could ruin what they've rebuilt. One night, after a particularly successful event for their foundation, Ethan walks Mia home. The city is quiet, and the air is charged. "I can't keep pretending," Ethan says suddenly, his voice low. "Mia, I've loved you since college. I just didn't realize it until I almost lost you." Mia is stunned, but she can't deny her own feelings any longer. "I love you too," she admits, her voice trembling. The moment is perfect, raw, honest, and long overdue. Just as things seem to be falling into place, another rival tries to stir up trouble, accusing Ethan of using the foundation as a front for tax evasion. The accusation threatens to derail everything they've worked for. But this time, Ethan and Mia face it together, presenting a united front. They provide transparent records and hold a press conference, dismantling the lies with confidence and grace. The ordeal only strengthens their bond. Ethan realizes that for the first time in years, he's truly happy. Mia, too, feels a sense of purpose and belonging she hasn't felt in a long time. Ethan and Mia decide to take their foundation global, expanding its reach to help even more people. They celebrate with their team, toasting to the future. Ethan pulls Mia aside, looking at her with a mix of pride and love. "We did it," he says. The story ends with Ethan and Mia standing on the balcony of their new office, overlooking the city. "This is just the beginning," Ethan says, his arm around Mia. She smiles, her heart full. "And this time we're doing it together,